Are you living with purpose, passion, and making a difference in your life's journey? Well, you've come to the right place. The X Factors to Success podcast radio show.
Great day to you all, and welcome to the X Factors to Success podcast radio show. I am your host, Ruggero Fratarcangeli, also known as the G-Man. That's right, the G-Man is in the house here. And today we have another special guest. We do our best to bring on a special guest with experience, with lots of great knowledge for us here. And don't forget, the 5 factors of the X Factors is faith, family and friends, fitness, finance, and fun. And today we have a special, beautiful young lady once again to our show. Her name is Helen Cernigliaro. I'll say that in Italian. And which she is with over 15 years of experience as a certified coach. Helen is a laser focus to help her clients believe in themselves, to hold them accountable, and accomplish their goals. In conjunction with over 30 years as a law of attraction practitioner, we're going to learn a lot about that today. This positive can-do attitude has helped Helen to become ahead of the game in sales, a successful mentor, as well as becoming a dynamic motivational speaker. A serial entrepreneur, Helen has owned several businesses before she decided coaching and motivational speaking was her true path. Once she decided to go for it, she committed to her new calling and never looked back. Helen is also an organizer and host of the Law of Attraction Long Island Meetup in New York. When she took the meeting over back in January 2014, membership was as low as 250. Since she has taken over, membership has climbed currently, I guess, even over 1,500 members and still continue to grow. It is her joy, passion, and dedication to her members that has made this particular LOA, Law of Attraction Group, one of the largest in the New York tri-state area. On Monday through Friday morning, she has a show. 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Helen is a co-host of the Pop and Crew No Holds Barred morning show talk radio TV. She also hosts a 17-second show, which we'll talk about, her own 1-hour talk show about the law of attraction on Wednesday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern Time. In addition to those 2 amazing shows, this past April 2018, Helen partnered up with her Pop and Crew morning co-host Lisa Monaco to launch their new talk show, Lisa and Helen Talk Relationships, on Mondays, 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern Time. All 3 very unique shows are on www.iradiousa.com. Several books are forthcoming from Helen's own personal take of the law of attraction as well as relationships. She's currently finishing up her first book series. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome the wonderful Helen. Helen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, G. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here. I consider you one of my very good friends. We've had a lot of fun together when we've done the trifecta, which I think we should mention. And for those of you who don't know what the trifecta is, it is Ruggero, Jim Goldfuss, and myself. And we have talked about our own unique takes about coaching and the law of attraction. And I am going to assume there is going to be some new stuff coming our way in presentations. Am I not right?
You are absolutely right there, Signorina Helen. You know what? It's about time we're on my show on this podcast, the X Factors to Success, because you exude success, Helen.
Oh, thank you.
And of course,
Thank
the trifecta, we'll save it for later. Let's not spoil the beans
Yes.
all at once there, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
Helen, you know, you had a long bio here, and it's overwhelming. It's great because you've been through many, many things. You're inspiring many people, especially in this tri-state area, with your law of attraction, with your talk shows, and you are the best in the business right now. You are just rocking and rolling, girl, out there.
Well, I'll tell you, Law of Attraction Long Island Meetup is my baby. And as you said, thank you so much, that when I took it over, it was at 250 and it's grown to well over 1,200 people, 1,260. I'm not really sure.
I mentioned 1,300 plus, I think I said, right?
Well, that works for me. But the thing is it's my baby. And to see have grown, and to help people and talk about the law of attraction and getting the word out there. That's really, really important to me. Also, I've talked about reinvention, your reinvention over 50. I am a little over 50, and
You are
that's
seasoned.
really, really important
You're
to
a
me.
beautiful seasoned woman. You are.
Oh, that's right. I'm not getting older. I'm getting bolder. That's what I
Beautiful.
like. But I love that you called me Signorina. I was like, that's working for me. Absolutely. But with the law of attraction and motivating people,
Yeah.
my key thing is motivating. I think that goes without saying that as coaches, that's what we all want to do, is help people to have a better life and go and enjoy their lives. Because as we know, with the law of attraction, it's about as we know, the power of positive thinking, expecting good things to happen in your life. And we want people to learn that. And we have such ways of teaching that. Yours with the X Factors to Success.
Yeah.
You're amazing. Jim with his take on what it is. And also mine. And that's the phone. Pardon me.
It's
there,
okay.
We just put it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. We just took
We're
care
doing
of
live
that.
here. This is live. I love it.
Well, my studio was my kitchen. I am working on getting a studio in, but right now it's the kitchen. You can't see; it's right back there. Okay, I forgot.
Folks, you cannot see it. This is this
Yeah,
recording,
I
no
just
video.
realized that. Okay, sorry. Well, I'm in my kitchen. The heart of the home. That's the
I
kitchen.
love it.
and it has my heart. So there you go.
So Helen, let's take a little step back here. And you've been through many, many things in your life journey. And the X factors to success, as I mentioned, is faith, family and friends, fitness, finance, and fun. And you've experienced many of those areas of growth and continue to grow. And I'd like to ask you the question is, what motivates you right now, this minute, today, in this world?
That's so easy. With you, first of all, enthusiasm. You walk into a room, man, and the whole place just lights up. But
it's not about me. It's about you right now. Come on.
I know, but it's really true that anybody who shows me any kind of enthusiasm for wanting to learn, change their life, make their life more fulfilled, enthusiasm gets me. Talking to a client, and equally, when I have my enthusiasm, when I'm speaking, I want to reach people, and the enthusiasm is where it really gets me. That's what motivates me.
Awesome.
Is enthusiasm.
Folks, if you're in town in New York, you have to stop by and join us at the Law of Attraction, because this woman here has grown this group here phenomenally, bringing all different types of people who've been speaking at a platform. She's been giving talks, and she's been opening the platform for many people. And so you got to come here. At the end, we'll share all the show notes, Helen, on where to find you.
You know what, G? I want everybody to know, Law of Attraction Long Island, it's not just about me. I believe in sharing the wealth, and, it's a like-minded community. You've spoken there. Jim's spoken there. Tony Bussey has spoken there. We've had some other coaches that have spoken there. I really believe it's all about sharing our knowledge with people and making sure that everybody gets a different take on what it's about, because my platform is reinvention, as you well know.
Right.
And I think it's really key that people get a different taste. So I want to make it very clear. It's not Law of Attraction Helen show, although that would be very nice, but it's not. I like sharing the wealth. It's very important that everybody gets a taste of what everybody else has to say.
So let's give the audience, in your version, I know you have 3 shows out there and you talk about Law of Attraction, in your own words. Tell the audience, my audience out there, what is Law of Attraction? I'm sure you're going to go touch base on the movie The Secret, but just give us a general overview, Helen.
Well, for the Law of Attraction, for me, it means the power of positive thinking, expecting good things to happen in your life, taking action that feels good. A lot of us have been raised that life is supposed to be hard, that we're supposed to struggle, that we're not supposed to have we're not supposed to be happy until we get the house, until we get the car, until we get the girl, the guy,
right.
until we get these material things. That's when we're going to be happy. And to an extent, once you get these things, you'll be happy for a little while. But if you really aren't happy inside in yourself in the now and believing
right.
that you are worthy, it's never really, you're never really going to get fulfilled. You're never really going to get there. But the law of attraction is also about whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you throw out to the world, you're going to get back. It focuses on how you feel and gratitude. Gratitude is a very big thing with the law of attraction, as we well know, because whenever you're in a state of gratitude, you are in a state of love. When you say thank you from somebody to somebody, you're giving, you're having an exchange of love, because you're saying something nice to them, and they 9 times out of 10 they say something nice right back to you. Thank you very much. How you feel is key, and we always want to have our vibrations high. We always want to have high energy, because that's where all the good stuff happens. And you've heard me say this before. Did you ever meet somebody that initially you don't like them, and it's like the warning bells are going off in your head saying, danger, danger, get out of here. And when you don't trust your intuition, you don't trust that higher self, whatever you want to call it, 9 times out of 10 you go, okay, I trusted that person and it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to come out, but I went along. I didn't trust myself. Once you learn to trust yourself and realize that you are worthy and you're supposed to have this joyous, happy life, things change. But I will say, a lot of people with the law of attraction, I believe in effort. I don't believe in work. Because effort is you and I and people that are happy in their jobs. I mean, could you imagine that's your office that you are sitting in right now?
That's right.
My office is my kitchen.
But you're making things happen there. It's okay, no matter what.
Absolutely. But this is my kitchen, and I'm happy. And when you're happy going to work, when you're loving what you're doing, it's an effort. It's an effort, because you have to make an effort. You know, you're sitting there, you're adjusting the mic. You were very patient with me before, I might tell you, with getting everything going. But when you have to go to work and you dread going to work, that's when your energy goes down, your vibration goes down, and then you fall into what I would call a rut, because when you're not happy in one area, it kind of falls off into every other area.
It's a triple effect, right,
And then
Helen?
what do you do?
Yeah, it's a triple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You mentioned gratitude. Is there a certain behavior or ritual that you do in the morning, afternoon, or evening you want to share with the audience?
Absolutely. That's so very important. First of all, I say thank you all the time, all day, every day. Can you just thank you, thank you, thank you? I say it in the grocery store. I don't care who's looking at me. Thank you. No, I wasn't to you. I was saying it to the universe. Thank you very much. You know, and I keep going. But I say affirmations every morning. Thank you, God, for another day. God bless everyone and everything in my day, 2-legged beings as well as 4. I thank you for keeping me safe another day. I thank you for keeping my loved ones safe too, my family, my friends, my pets, their pets too.
There you go.
I thank you for surrounding me with your love and light. I thank you for turning on my spiritual electricity. And I thank you for giving me grace and patience to get through this day, especially the grace and patience, because you know me and we're always working on the patience. And at night, I try to say the affirmations again, but most times I just say thank you and I go to sleep.
Right.
But I always say thank
works
you for
for
a
you.
cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So you obviously exuding so much energy right now, Helen. You're just glowing. I like to always I always acknowledge the my guests on the show with energy, and you got the little super energy. The spiritual energy is heightened for you there, Helen. You know,
of course.
I know that this question is always bounced off of me too as well. Do you think people are just lucky? People could say to you, "Hey, Helen, you got three shows out there. You have a law of attraction group. You're a coach. You're a motivational speaker. You're doing many things out there, and people say you're lucky." How would you defend that?
Well, I've always said I am lucky, but I preface that with I've always felt I've been lucky when I've noticed an opportunity, and I haven't let opportunities go by.
Okay, I want to say because you are aware and you're mindful, because you're in a state of mindfulness.
Yes. And absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. But even I say yes to things that I don't even understand now.
Okay.
I say yes. When I started the radio shows,
yes.
I hadn't been on radio in years and years and years. I said, yes, I'm doing it. And after I said, yes, I'm doing it, I said, what did I just do? Holy moly, I said yes to something I did not.
And you took the opportunity. Inspired action you took.
I did. And I said, yes. And that led me to 3 shows. And so I find it very interesting because the people that I am surrounding myself with, i.e. you, Karen Smalling, love you, Karen.
Let's give a shout out to Karen. Ren, she's listening out there.
Love her. Jim Goldfuss. I find we're all getting involved in media now. And I think it's all going to benefit us very, very well. But as I said, I saw an opportunity. I took it, said yes, didn't know what I was going to do. And I've read this actually from very successful CEOs is they say yes before they even know what they're going to be doing to something if an opportunity came along. Is it luck? I think it's synchronicity.
Ooh, there goes that word again. Synchronize.
Yeah, I love
synchronicity.
That's one of my favorite
I feel
words.
like dancing. You know, I want to dance when I hear that synchronicity.
Yeah, I agree. Make me feel like dancing. Okay, anyway. Synchronicities for me is when I got that proper mindset, when I commit to something that my life, I want to do this, and all of a sudden things start falling into place, situations, people, experiences, that all of a sudden I think, wow, this could lead me to my goal. This will help me get to my goal. This will help me get to my goal. And synchronicities start coming fast and furious. So that's really important too, that just when you make that commitment, and a lot of people, this is where I think a lot of people kind of mess up. When they say they want to change, they start to get a little ambivalent and they say, yeah, I want to change tomorrow. Yeah, I want to change next week. And they're saying they're sending gummed up messages to the universe, and sometimes that's why the law of attraction doesn't work for them, because the universe, God, Goddess, Source, Creator, whatever you want to call it, they're saying, what are you saying? What are you doing? You know, give me a definite yes or no, or no or yes, or yes or no. Just saying.
You're just saying.
Yeah.
So
just saying.
Synchronicity and the law of attraction, and I want to tie in one more thing with that. When you have clarity of purpose, there's a purposeful action down in your subconscious that allows you to navigate to the things that come across. So you, by saying yes, subconsciously down there, you're able, because otherwise you would not have had the inspired action to continue on, because it's there inside you. You have it.
Yes.
You know.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail right on the head. It's that definite yes. That's when things start to happen. Absolutely.
You know, I hear people saying, "Well, I procrastinate a lot. I said tomorrow I'm going to start. Tomorrow I'm going to start. Tomorrow comes and they never start. So that procrastination is that fear factor, right? And I like to always say fear stands for false evidence appearing real. You know, we create this limited beliefs. You know, I know that the Jim Goldfuss, you're listening out there. You know, if you ever gone to the Tony Robbins, you do the fire walk, right? And there's that fear walking that 15 foot of hot coals, and you say, well, how come I can't do it? But once you get that inspired action, you'll do it. So inspire, and you got energy right now. You got it going, and I look forward to seeing even more things happening with you, Helen, out there. And on the trifecta, speaking about the trifecta, let's just change gears here. This trifecta that's you, yourself, yeah, I know, right? Jim and myself. What can you tell the audience of our first encounters at the Law of Attraction when we conducted a trifecta out there? What was the outcome from the members who attended?
Well, first of all, everybody loved it, because what I think we have is the three of us, we bounce off of each other very well. There is a very nice chemistry that we trust one another when we go in for a presentation. And I think that's very, very important, because there was no for lack of better way to say it, there were no stage hogs. There was no contradicting one another. We all bounced off of one another, and we all had something to say, and we all had something to share to enrich our listeners' lives. You know, your X factors to success. Jim is about overcoming the odds. You know, in his earlier life, he had some trials and tribulations that he had to go through.
Right.
And me, I'm all about reinvention over 50 and little over 50.
And you look great, girl. You look great, signorina.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. But the thing is I think people wanted to see that there were 3 coaches, and wanted to see what each of us had to say, because basically we are all saying the same thing, but you have your strategy for it. I have my strategy for it, and Jim had his strategy for it. And yet we all came to a common ground of wanting to help people and wanting to listen. And I think 3 for the price of 1, let me tell you something, those people got a deal.
Right.
They got a really good deal.
Again, the idea here, we are serving the community, we're serving the world and giving back. You know, the law of reciprocity. As you give back to the universe, give back to the community, it comes back to us tenfold without even expecting it.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Yes.
So, Helen, failure. I know failure is not in your vocabulary. I know. Oh, stop that.
No.
I know, right? What's one failure or
Yeah.
one biggest failure that you learned from? What was what would you say that kind of,
What's one of the biggest failures?
or a failure
Okay.
that gave you a different trajectory into accomplishing a goal?
Not to worry so much, not to take everything so very seriously.
Right.
There were times, and the reason why I would say it was a failure is because there were times I was worrying so much I was on my way to an ulcer. I was making myself physically ill.
Oh, gosh.
And for me, that's a failure because I don't want to ever get sick, especially for somebody. And this was during times that I had been a law of attraction practitioner, but yet there were so many things that were bothering me that I would drink something or eat something and my stomach would start burning. And I turned that failure, I pivoted. I turned it into a learning session, and realized that nothing is worth really worrying about that's going to affect your health, because 9 times out of 10, what you worry about is probably not going to happen. And if it does happen, what did you learn? What was your blessing? And sometimes when something that you want that doesn't happen, again, years down the road, months down the road, it can be a blessing in disguise where you just say, thank God this didn't happen. Thank goodness. But also another failure, don't eat sugar. Stay away from sugar.
Well,
sugar.
I know. You know, all these things are so self-induced, and we create these limited beliefs here. But you hit a point there, that because of trying, you fail, but failing is a part of the journey to success in all the realms, right?
Yes.
The fitness part, a part of the X factors. It could be spiritual fitness, also physical fitness, right? Again, what we put into our bodies affects our mood, reflects our spirits per se, but it's all about how we take care of all the factors in place. So,
yeah. Well, I just want you to know,
Yes.
I do have to say something. Failure is not in my vocabulary. Problem is not in my vocabulary. I say issue or challenge.
there you go. I like that.
Because I can overcome an issue and I will meet a challenge head on. But failure really, it has such a negative connotation that the minute you said it, I was like, oh man, it just doesn't sit with me well anymore. You know, it's the funniest thing. But blessing or lesson.
Beautiful. So, Helen, up to now, I'm sure you've had 2 or 3 role models that you looked at and seen, and you followed through. You want to share any 2 or 3 role models that were in your journey of life up to now?
Sure. I love Tony Robbins. I think he's awesome. I like Mel Robbins, no relation. I think she's amazing. And actually, my favorite is a well-known coach, but a little lesser-known coach. Her name is Jeannette Maw, and she is the founder of Good Vibe University. And the reason why I like her is she talks my language. She's just very natural, genuine, honest, head-on. No, I'm not so much, and I don't know, I don't think you are either, but I don't want to talk for you, is I don't talk about the esoteric aspects of the law of attraction. I talk about the practical aspects for it, about the honest aspects for it.
Yes, you
do
do.
I believe there's some magic to it? Absolutely. But I just feel that she's just very honest and makes it fun, because I believe that learning about something like this, it has to be fun. Well, I believe any learning situation, it should be fun.
I just thought about this one. Abraham Hicks. I know that you also have followed her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And many of you are also speakers in your Law of Attraction meetup group have spoken about her. And how do you feel about her regarding Jeannette? What's her name again? Jeannette.
Jeannette Maw. Well,
Maw,
she's
yeah.
a big believer in Abraham Hicks. It's Jeannette Maw. Jeannette and Maw is M-A-W. But Abraham Hicks, I think, is wonderful. Esther Hicks, talking about Abraham. But there are some things sometimes I must say that I do not agree with the law of attraction that they talk about. That's a whole for another whole,
Okay.
Another time to get into. But I do believe that they are. I've read all of the books, and it's a great. After you read The Secret, I think The Secret is a great primer. It's a great jumping off point if you're interested in law of attraction. But I have issues with that book because they talk about, they talk so little about inspired action, and you can manifest a castle as well as a button. Yeah, I can go find a button in my house anywhere. I don't know where I'm going to find that castle, but okay. That being said, I think they need to talk about action more because a lot of people get misconstrued about the law of attraction that if I think it, it's going to appear.
Right.
Now, not that I want to, I am a master manifester, and I have manifested things by sheer thought, by saying, I'm going to do this, this is going to happen, and it has happened. Okay, but the thing is you have to get rid of what I call the gunk at the back of your head.
I was waiting
Now,
for that terminology, the gunk. Give us more insight
the
on the gunk.
The negative stuff,
Yeah.
the anger, the resentment, the jealousy, the worry, the anxiety, all the stuff that's at the back of the head that when you desire something and you say, wow, I would really like that new car. And then you think, how am I going to afford it? I probably can't afford it. I won't be able to do it. How am I going to do it? When, who, what, when, where, why,
All
and how?
negative,
Can't
all
do
negative,
it.
all
And
negative.
Then,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're gumming up the works, and then the universe is going, what? And then you've messed yourself up. But with most people, with the law of attraction, when you're thinking that, then you have to think about how I'm going to get it done. Not I'm just going to sit back on the couch and manifest it. Some people can do that. Some people that have been practicing a long time can do that. However, majority of people, and even some people that have been doing it for a long time, sometimes have to take a refresher course and say, okay, where am I going wrong? What am I doing? But you need that pure thought. 17 seconds. The show on www.iradiousa.com. If you have a complete thought for 17 seconds, sheer pure thought, pure thought, without any gunk getting in the way,
No interruptions.
none of the negatives,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay.
And if you can think that, try to do it for 17 seconds with nothing getting in your way. You are on your way to manifesting what you want. Do it for 60 seconds. Things are going to come into your mind as you're saying, I really want that new car. I really want that new car. I want a 2018 Ford Expedition. Just saying, putting it out there. Hello.
That's a beautiful,
So, yeah.
a beautiful SUV. That's a big, luxurious SUV there, girl. I love it.
Well, why not?
Yeah,
Why
you got
not?
it. Yeah, that's right.
I'm worthy. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But you need to be aware in the now of how you're thinking. And when you start thinking about the past and all the things that you wanted that didn't happen, you're gumming up the works. When you're thinking about the future, how am I going to do this? When am I going to do this? Who, what, when, where, why, and how? You're gumming up the future that way. You have to think about the now and act as if. Now, acting as if, use your imagination. A lot of us don't use our imagination. And when we do use our imagination, the gunk master jumps in and says, who do you think you are? You can't do that. Do you know that happens to me? And sometimes I say, get out of here. It's my imagination. And
The Gunk
I
Master.
do.
The Gunk
I
Master.
say, yeah, that's in my book, actually. The Gunk Master. Beat it. Get out of here. Go. And do you know what? When that happens, then my imagination works for me. That I actually say, get out of here. It's my no, get out of here. Shoo, go. And it works. It works. But we all have our, I don't want to say demons because I don't believe in that, but we all have our issues of why we won't get something, why we don't deserve something, why we feel we're not worthy. we just have to work on ourselves and realize that we are worthy of a happy, healthy, productive, fulfilling, loving life.
Helen, would you say that our past experiences as a child are the key foundations of those limited beliefs, the gunk that has created from our upbringing? I mean, psychologists shows that the first 7-8 years of our life are embedded in our environment that have created who we are today. And then to your point, Helen, that things, you unwind that, you ungunked it, and you let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
And many of us are just stuck in their ways. You've seen people out there. We talked about people out there in the past, how they won't change, or they think they could change, but they go back to the same routine again because they're not totally committed. It goes back to that little boy, little girl inside of us that won't let go, Well,
you know what, Gee, sometimes I think people are happy being miserable, and also they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. I have found that a lot of people say they want to change, but when they realize that it takes effort, that it takes getting out of that comfort zone, they say, not so fast. And, that's okay, because if they make that choice and decide to stay in that comfort zone, then it's like, I'm going to be happy in this comfort zone.
Yeah, so, I could say, and interrupt you, I've had friends in the past, way as a childhood, right? I meet them once in a while, and they took a different direction, totally different direction, because I chose to go differently. Even now, Jim Rohn says this quote, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And there are 3 subgroups. There's your family, your friends, and then your professional field. And of those 3 groups, you become the average. You start gravitating. So you have to let go, negative people. Unfortunately, you could hang out with people 2 minutes. There are those you can hang out for 2 hours, or those you can hang out for 2 days. And so I'm a strong believer in that. I've left, unfortunately, I let go. OPP, only positive people in my environment, and I have to push them back. And I'm sure the same with you as well.
Absolutely. I consider my core friends as well as professional friends. Well, you,
no,
Jim,
moi.
Ren.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, people that I feel that professionally, it's like we're all colleagues. If the trifecta is going places. And I think it's really important to surround, I don't know if you read Jim's blog today or the other day about his...
No, I have not. Jim, sorry about that, but I'm catching up.
His daughter's going into the, ROTC, his son's going into the Army. It was a very touching piece. It was really great.
Got that.
But the thing is he kept it positive. It was very poignant what he wrote. But the thing is I surround myself with people that I know want to do things like I want to do, and that's really important. The negative people in my life, negative friends, it's hard sometimes for me to let go, but I have limited my time with them now. Hi, how you doing?
Yes.
And I don't see them very much anymore.
Very short, and get the message.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't get in arguments with any negative people anymore.
Because you're consuming all your energy on arguments, and that just feeds more into the fire, right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Helen, can you talk to us more about this new show that you just kicked off this April here? Lisa and Helen talk relationships. I'm going to switch gears here because it's just interesting. I'm sure those listeners out there, which I do have about 45% of my listeners due to my analytics. I've seen them, coming in on a nice age group there. And maybe they will also start tuning into your show. Tell us more about it and give us the spectrum and the idea and what's your mission, what's your goal?
Well, Lisa and Helen talk relationships. First of all, it's with my co-host, Lisa Monaco, from Cop and Crew No Holds Barred in the Morning. And we wanted to do something different. And it's 2 girls just having a conversation about relationships. Everything about relationships.
You mean everything?
Not just love
everything?
Relationships.
Everything.
Everything. Everything. Seriously, everything. But the thing is we had 1 show so far. Right now, we're on a very short hiatus, but we're going to be back. But it was about infidelity. And wow, did we strike a chord? But the thing is we're touching on subjects that both men and women chimed in, but also anything that has to do with relationship. We have a notebook filled of at least 75 subjects about relationships.
Wow, super.
And I think it's going to be, well, first of all, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but women, what do we like to talk about? Relationship shoes and relationships.
Okay.
It's just
this is
rated
rated PG. Okay, this show is rated PG. It's okay. You could get there.
No, I don't. Not to worry. I said relationship, but to be honest with you, there's not going to be a lot of that kind of talk because it is, we're keeping it relatively PG, but there's going to be some interesting talks about such things going on. But I think it's going to be a really big hit because, as I said, women just love to talk about relationships. And we're talking about the ups, the downs, what makes a relationship, how to keep a relationship alive. Let's see, off the top of my head, divorce, parental alienation, which is going to be a big one.
That's a big factor in our society. Sure.
We're going to talk about stepchildren. He's married 3 times. He wants to get married. She doesn't. May, December relationships, both ways, where the guy's older, the woman is younger, or the woman is older and the guy's younger. So it's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I look forward to listening once you get it going again, and we'll put it in the show notes so the audience can click on the link and write to your show and make sure they could lock in the date once you get going there once again.
Thank you.
Helen, I'm going to ask you this question. Are you prepared for this one? I know you asked me this question, too, when I was in your show. Yes, I did. You asked me this question.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Uh-oh.
So here's a question.
Okay.
If you were conducting this interview, what one question would you ask yourself? If you were conducting this interview, what one question would you ask yourself? I know it's a challenging one. Everyone gets stumped on this one.
That is a challenge. That is a challenging one. What took me so long to find my calling? What took me so long? I've had more jobs than you've had fingers and toes. Seriously. And it's not for lack of not wanting to work hard, but I would just get very bored and thinking, is this all there is to this? Is this all there is to this? And I would just get so bored. And I would say, because sometimes it's a regret, but I leave that, I let that go because this is my calling. Motivating people is my calling. Inspiring people is my calling. I don't want to change people. That's up to them. But if I can motivate somebody to say, hey, I can do this. It's possible. I can give this a shot. That makes me feel better. But probably, why did it take me so long? And, what took you so long to relax?
But you know what? Now
to relax.
You are. I know you now. Yeah. I think approximately 4 years, a little over 4 years now. When I first met you at the meetup there, and I saw a person on that stage there, on fire, truthfully loving life, giving back to life, giving back to people, and with a beautiful smile. That presence there just exudes, giving. And I don't know you from before, but this is surely your calling. So I believe, going back to those trials and tribulations, the gunk you said, the gunk.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, gets in the way. But you you erased it, cleaned it up, and moving forward. And you got so much things going on right now. And truthfully, anyone who will meet you and wow, what a beautiful human being you are. But you know what? They don't know the past, and that's the big problem. Many people look at the final results, but they can never see the trials and tribulations. And that's where we need to also share that a lot to stories. I'm sure in your book that's up and coming also that you are going to share those trials and tribulations and what got you to this point here. No matter what path of life you're taking, but this is where you are right now because you love it now.
I do. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Oh.
I can't.
So, Helen, is there a book that inspired you or a book that, you recommend to the audience that you may want to share?
book I would recommend to the audience.
Yeah.
Let me think. Yes, The Four Agreements
Ooh, I have that on my
by
book.
Don Miguel Ruiz.
That's right. I have that on my
Yes.
on my bookshelf right here to my left here. I can reach it over. Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
put that. I'm gonna put that in the show notes. The Four Agreements. Yes, beautiful.
Yes, because once now, if I can only remember the Four Agreements, that'd be great. Be impeccable with your word. Don't assume everything. Do the best you can.
Yes, yes.
And I forgot the other one. I forgot the other one. But
Agreements,
I read that.
Agreements. You know what? And that's key. That's a key principle. If you keep your own self agreements and you also the agreements of others that you commit yourself to, that you become a true character, a true persona. But if you start falling through the cracks, what happened? Then your character becomes compromised.
You know what? I think one of the most important agreements were don't assume everything. That when you're rejected or somebody is not treating you the way you want to be treated, that it's all about you. It's what's going on with them. And that really helped me to realize that when stuff is happening with other people, not to take it personally. And I think that's really, really important. And also speak with integrity, be impeccable with your word. And that's also something that I have lived by for quite some time is when you say you're going to do something, do it. And that's really important.
You know,
too.
Helen, how many times we ask for assistance by people and friends, you know, and you say, okay, yeah, I'll do it, Helen. And it comes down to the time and there's no follow through. The first time, the second time, the third time, like, okay, really? And you lose completely faith. You know what? And you won't depend on that individual any longer, right? And then that's integrity.
Absolutely.
That's integrity, you're saying there. Beautiful. Beautifully said there. The Four Agreements. I have to pick up that book again. It's been a while. I haven't had that book in my hand. So thank you for reminding me and the audience as well there, Helen. So, Helen, before we wrap up and say farewell to our next appearance, and I'm going to share some information to the audience, what legacy or imprint to the world you'll leave behind? And let's say it's 150 years from now. When 150 years from now, they're going to pick up, look through the archives. They're going to see Helen, the radio shows you've been through, your book, your motivational speaking presentations, and all good stuff there. What's the legacy? When Helen leaves the earth, the physical earth, she's there in spirit, beautiful angel looking upon us. What legacy will she leave behind?
That she taught me that it was possible.
She taught me this is possible.
That's all.
Possible. It is possible.
That I taught somebody that it's possible.
I like that. Wow,
that's it.
That's very profound.
To believe in themselves.
Very simple, but very profound, Helen.
I tend to be simple, but profound.
I love it. So, Helen, this has been a wonderful, gracious conversation, I have to say. You're just a beautiful human being giving back to the world, and I'm very grateful that you are on my show, The X Factors to Success. And like to have you also share your contacts before we say goodbye. So where can people find you out there on the world or the social media? Tell us there, please.
Okay. First of all, my website is helencernigliaro.com. That's www.HELEN Cernigliaro, CERN as in Nancy, IGLIARO, helencernigliaro.com. I'm on Facebook as well, same name. Also, you can find me at Law of Attraction Long Island Meetup out of Belmore, New York. You can find me there. I'm also on Instagram, working on Twitter, but I'm not a good tweeter, but I'll get there.
I just started, by the way. I just started my tweeting thing, so just...
Yes, I noticed that, actually. So congratulations, you little tweeter.
So Facebook, Law of Attraction Meetup here in Long Island. Instagram.
And my website and Instagram, and also the radio shows.
Please.
www.iradiousa.com, Cop and Crew in the Morning, 17 Seconds with Helen Cernigliaro, and also Lisa and Helen Talk Relationships. So quite a bit.
Good.
But I'm a busy girl.
Yes, you are. And making a difference. And you're living with passion. You're living with purpose. And you're making a difference. I like to use my tagline all the time there. So I'm going to put these on the show notes, Helen, for everyone to check up. And I ask you all, folks out there, reach out to her. Send her an email. I'm sure she'll respond back to you. And she'll love to see you come down to New York. And check us out. Check out Helen out. And we're going to also make an announcement very shortly for the Trifecta events here on Long Island, where we're going to put a leadership conference together. And we're going to be rocking and rolling and knocking those walls down and inspiring people, Helen, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's give a shout out to...
G.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's been a pleasure.
No, the pleasure is mine. This is.
No, it's mine. No, it's mine.
We're gonna play a game now. We're gonna play.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to our friends, our close friends. There, we have in common that we have Jim Golfus. Jim, shout out to you, buddy.
Hi, Jim.
All right, and let's give a shout out to Karen Smalling. Right, come on. Hey, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
We love you. We love you. And Tony Bossi. Tony, if you're out there listening to this podcast show, which I hope you are, I'll be sending you a link there. I'll make sure you get that. And
hi, Tony.
Of course, the whole Law of Attraction group out there. We want to say hello to them too, as well, right?
Absolutely. See everybody Wednesday night.
Yeah. So, Helen, before we say goodbye, one last words of encouragement, inspiration for the audience on the X Factors to Success.
It's never too late to reinvent yourself. That's it.
That's it. Beautiful.
That's it.
Oh, wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the wonderful Helen Cernigliaro, I'll say in Italian, and we spent a wonderful, wonderful time here giving us some insights of a law of attraction, being inspiring, empowering, and definitely a great, great person to meet up in the very near future if you're coming down to New York. And stay tuned for some news updates as we make an announcement for this year's conference. But so without further ado, thank you very, very much once again, Helen, and many blessings and much continued success. I look forward to see you very, very soon on your show at the Law of Attraction. And what else I'll say to you? I'll give you a big hug and a kiss right here, virtual kiss, and arrivederci and ciao. And don't forget, the G-Man here says, live with purpose, passion, and make a difference.